Remember, I told you guys I need to call my grandparents last week? Actually, I think that was 2 weeks ago. Well, whenever it was, I ended up calling my grandparents and we started talking about the neighbors that they used to have whenever I was growing up. The Jameses, Mr. and Mrs. James. Y'all, these were some of the nicest people I have ever met. Just to give you an example, when Mr. James would cut his grass, he would randomly cut my grandpa's grass too. Like, just because. If I ever move into a neighborhood, I hope I have neighbors like Mr. and Mrs. James. They had a ton of cats, and me and my sister would always be at their house playing with the cats and naming the kittens and all that stuff. They were really, really close to my grandparents, and they treated us like, we were their grandchildren. So they ended up moving away, but my grandparents stayed close with them. They stayed in touch. So when I was on the phone the other day talking to my grandma, I asked her, I was like, how is Mr. and Mrs. James, like, how are they doing now? I haven't heard anything about them. And she informed me, man, she informed me that Miss James actually passed away. And for the last couple of years of her life, Mr. James was taking care of her because she had dementia and she couldn't remember anything. And I think she said closer to her passing away, I don't even think she remembered who Mr. James was. Like she didn't even remember her husband. Dude, man, that hit me, man. That hit me, bruh. Oh my gosh, these people had such a huge impact on my life growing up. And I was not expecting to hear that. They loved each other so much. They were one of those couples that you could tell, like, man, they really, really love each other. They wasn't doing it for the gram. After the call, I ended up going down a rabbit hole. Y'all know me and my rabbit holes. I gotta know, right? I wanted to figure out, how does someone even get dementia in the first place? Like, is it random? Is it age? Is it genetic? Like, I wanted to know. I needed to know. And so I ended up finding this report here. It's the 2024 Lancet report. And it basically says 45% of dementia cases are tied to lifestyle patterns. 45%. Y'all, that's almost half, which means this isn't just some mysterious old age thing that I think a lot of young people think. It's like, oh, I'll worry about that stuff whenever I turn like 80 or whatever. No, this basically starts now when you're young. It's a lot of long-term consequences of decisions catching up to you quietly. So basically, the habits that we're building at 25, 30 years old are literally deciding whether we remember our grandkids' names at 75. That's crazy, right? Man, we be treating our brain like it reset every morning. That thing be keeping receipts on what we be doing daily, okay? Dementia isn't usually just one bad year. It's like 1,000 of those small decisions that we stack up over time. Our brains don't care about what shape we was in when we was 20. Man, I used to be dunking from the free throw line. Man, I played varsity. Your brain don't care if you played varsity when you was 15. Your brain don't remember your prime. It records your habits and your patterns, okay? It cares about what you repeat. Because think about it, man, you don't suddenly become a brand new person at 70 years old. Aging is really just our daily habits slowly losing their filters, right? like age has this weird way of pulling all of your routines to the surface. What you've been quietly practicing for years starts showing up loudly as you get older. That's what aging is. And the research just keeps showing the same thing. The way you move, the way you connect with others, staying curious during your midlife literally shapes how your brain survives later on. So just keep your brain working for the most part. Which means every time we say stuff like, oh, I'm gonna lock in later, I'm gonna start working out and getting more active when, such and such, when the kids turn such and such, whenever I graduate from wherever. When we do stuff like that and we say stuff like that, we might be making promises to a version of us that's already slipping away. Dang. Well, when you put it like that, Steve. Yeah. Shoot, talk about make you want to get your life together, huh? Hey, look, this is what they mean when they say do stuff now that your future self gonna thank you for later. And look, it's not just working out, okay? It's not just green juice or swapping your daily coffee out for matcha. By the way, I don't know what the heck is going on with this matcha movement, but y'all gotta chill. Y'all gotta chill. I went to the coffee shop the other day. Every drink being called out was a matcha. Sabrina, I have your matcha latte. Zachary, I have your matcha latte at the bar. Steve, I have your Americano. First of all, why you had to say my drink like that? Why I can't get the same upbeat voice that you gave everybody else who had the matcha latte? Anyway, social isolation also showed up as a real risk to dementia. So, all of you introverts out there who like to be alone and talk to yourself, you better start talking to some actual people. Now, I will say it is good to be alone sometimes, but you don't always want to be alone, all right? Loneliness don't feel dangerous in the moment because it's calm. You feel safe. But your brain reads isolation almost like a system is slowly powering down, which is obviously not a good thing. And I know what you're thinking, but Steve, I'm protecting my peace. I understand, and I'm proud of you. But don't be protecting your peace so much that you accidentally rest in peace. That's all I'm saying, Virginia. And then there's hearing loss. Okay. This one kind of shocked me because I'm like, what does hearing have to do with dementia? I don't know. I didn't expect to see hearing loss on the list. But apparently, untreated hearing issues actually forces your brain to work overtime just to understand the world, like understand what's going on. And that kind of makes sense. That kind of makes sense. I guess it's kind of equivalent to running a bunch of apps in the background on your phone all day for decades. Eventually, the battery dies faster. So if you put it like that, I get it. But here's the good news. There is some good. I'm sorry if I'm depressing you right now, but I'm trying to bring awareness to this, people. All right. Here's the good news. We do not have to become freaking biohackers. That's not what I want you to get from this episode. Studies actually show that structured lifestyle shifts can literally slow cognitive aging. Basically, when people change how they live, their brain doesn't age as fast. Okay? Not perfection, just patterns. Move your body, stay connected, protect your hearing, and most of all, keep learning. That is a huge one. You have to keep learning. I don't know if y'all can tell, but I love learning. That's why I'm always down these rabbit holes. I'm probably one of the biggest geeks you meet, but I'm hip though. I'm still hip. Don't get it twisted, but I like to read. To me, learning is like a software update for your brain. You can't be out here running on 97 DOS, bro. It's 2026. What are you doing? Your brain doesn't need you to become a new person every Monday. That's not what I'm saying. It just needs proof that you're still participating in life. Oh, I like that one. I like that one. Let your brain know you still alive out here. Teach it something different. Create some new neural pathways up there, man. And listen, never in a million years would I have thought that I would be making a podcast episode on dementia. What the heck? At the age of 32? But honestly, man, hearing about Mrs. James' situation made this topic hit home. We hear these terms from time to time, Alzheimer's, dementia, but it just hits different when you know someone who has it or had it. Um, so yeah, I'm just trying to bring awareness to this right now because I know most of my audience is probably my age or younger, and I just don't want this to catch us by surprise. So that's what made me do this episode. Sorry if it seemed kind of out of left field, but we talk about life on this podcast. I don't know if how this would be out of left field. It's life. So I just want to make sure that I'm doing the best I can do to avoid or at least mitigate the risk of dementia. Because man, whew, that stuff, dude. Dementia don't just take memories. This is the whole thing. It changes your personality, man. It slowly removes parts of you that people recognize. Your humor, your independence. And the saddest part is you don't always notice it. The people who love you and are always around you, they usually notice it first. So yeah, this wasn't just an episode about living forever. It's not about more time. It's about being there for the entire time you get and staying present enough to actually experience the life that you're working so hard to build right now. I guess this whole podcast was basically a way for me to say, make decisions today that your future self will thank you for later. And if you like this podcast, send it to a friend. If you hated it, send it to an enemy. But regardless, thank you for being here. Thank you for being you. And thank you for hearing me out.